So when did you meet Mom and Dad?
I went out there one Wednesday morning to help him do the yard work, and that's how I met her.
How many years has that been?
Ooh, that was over 20-some years I worked for.
Yeah. And what did you do?
I was out in the yard working, picking up the pine cones, and she was watching me. And I got up all the pine cones, then I went and got my little mower, started cutting a little bit, and she was still watching me. So she didn't say nothing to me that day. So about 2 weeks later, I went back out there to help him, and she came out. She said, "You like working in the yard?" I said, "Yes, ma'am. I worked in the yard at one time. I had my own yard, and then I found a lot of my old went." She said, "You want to work in the house?" I said, "I ain't really never did no work in the house, but I try working for you." She said, "What day you want to come?" I said, "I come on Wednesday so I can ride with him." And I went there, and she had a little list, wrote out what she want me to do, and I started working. And every room I went in, she come in the room, she sit down, strike up a conversation. I ain't said nothing. I get through cleaning up in that room, I go in another room, she come in that room, she started talking. I still didn't say nothing to her, so I got through working and everything. She said, "You want to come back next week?" I said, "Yeah, Ma. I'll come back next week if you want me." So I went back. So when I got there, she said, "Most I want to do this morning, Pearl, is talk to you." I said, "Okay." She said, "I watch how you clean house. You a good house cleaner." I said, "Yeah, my mama always told me if you do something, do it good. If it take all day, make sure you do that job good." I said, one thing she learned me how to do clean house. She said, I really like the way you clean." I said, "Yes, ma'am." She said, "You want to work for me regular?" I said, "What you mean regular?" She said, "Like one day a week, like he well done on Wednesdays from 8 to 12. I said, "Yeah, I can do that. I ain't got nothing else to do." So I went there, and every Wednesday I worked for her. But every time, about every other week, she'd come in and she wouldn't say nothing. She'd just sit and watch. So I told Eddie that evening, I said, "I don't know, I'm going to work for her. She like to watch. I can't work with nobody watching me. And I can't work with nobody talking to me, because I start working and go to talking." He said, "Well, she done had several other housekeepers. And I don't know why they didn't work. Maybe they just come in and work one day and that's it." He said, "But you done been here more than one day." I said, "Yeah, I've been out there more than one day." He said, "Just tell her." So I went back to work. That day she stayed in the room. She didn't do nothing, follow me around. So when I went back again, she started following me around. So I turned around, I said, "Miss Watson, why are you following me? I'm not doing something you want me to do." She said, "No, I just like to watch you work." I said, "Well, I can't work with you watching me." So she came in and she sit down. Then she gonna strike up a conversation. I said, "Whoa, wait a minute. Either we gonna sit and talk, or you gonna go on somewhere and let me work." She said, "Pearl, you don't like me, do you?" I said, "No, I don't like you. I love you." we started from there. And after this, we didn't have no more home words spoken amongst us. I could go in there and I could work. She didn't have to write out no list or nothing, because I knew what I had to do, what room I had to do, and she would let me clean the whole house. I do one end like this week, and I do the other end like the next week. And that's the way I worked from the time I started working with her over 20 years in that house.
So you could have worked for anybody.
Anybody.
But you worked for her.
I worked for her that one day. That went 4 hours one day.
Why? Why did you keep coming back and work for her?
I just liked to work for her, have something to do. Then I started seeing by another lady that he did their yard, the Bronson. I went by to visit her, and that's how I got to work for her. Because I had been going over doing some yard work with him. And I just went over that evening just to visit her. I would do that every so often, go by and visit the different people that he did yard for.
When you said, "I don't like you, I love you," what did you mean by that?
I really loved her. I don't know, I just got to the place. I just looked forward to going to be with her during that day. And I always would tell people that I love them, I really loved them. So it's like they be done grew on me or something. And she was always kind after then. And Mr. Watson would go out and cut me a flower, put it in a little flower vase, and he'd tell me, Pearl, don't touch that pebble now, no, you're going to make it spoil, it'll turn brown. And I want it to last a while. And I'd bring it home and I'd go back to work. He said, is it still looking lively? And I'd be like, yeah, it's still looking lively, like he just cut it. Then when I go back the next week, I said, well, my flower found a wilted on way. He'll go out and cut me another one. So she told him one day, said, Stuart, why don't you cut her a big bunch and let her take them home? So I didn't know he going to go out there and cut a whole big bunch, but he did. He cut a whole big bunch and I brought them home. And he said, I got some little plants out there. I want you to take a couple of them home and tell Eddie to plant them for us, because if they live, Eddie going to have to plant them to live for me. But I never could get one to really live, so I stopped even trying. But I did. I liked it to be around her and him, because they were sweet people to work for. And I enjoyed working for her. And I enjoyed being around him. After he got sick, I started calling him my baby. And I'd take him back and forward to the store. Then she got to the place, she'd tell me, I ain't got to go with you. You take my check and you go to the store, but make sure you go to that store, because everybody know me. And I told her, I said, you going to trust me with your check? She said, yeah. So she give me a check. And I go to the grocery store. And I get what I thought they needed, not what she tell me to get and bring it back. And she'd check it out and everything. She said, that's all you paid for that? I said, well, that one thing I learned how to shop too. So we got along real good. And I drove her car, and I used to tease them by, I think y'all need to ride in my car. Getting down in y'all car, I'll be getting out just as bad as y'all getting out. I can't hardly get in and half get out. They're like, now if somebody hit you, Pearl, I'd rather for you to be in my car. I said, well, I sure hope don't nobody hit me, because I ain't going to hit nobody else.
Yeah. And so when she went out to Morningside, they could have had people out there sit with them, but she wanted you.
She wanted me. I had went out there a couple of times before they really required for me to be there every day. I went out a couple of times and stayed with them overnight, because he had gotten kind of sickly and she wanted to sleep. But she called me and asked me would I come stay with him, watch him that night. And I went out, I think on a Thursday night. I had to get there about 11 o'clock. And I was supposed to leave at 7 o'clock that morning. But I didn't leave till 3 o'clock that evening, because I wound up taking them back and forth to the doctor. She told the girl that had been taking them, I want Pearl to take us. So I said, okay.